Bro did that.
This Talk to Me podcast, episode 79. I'm your host, Chris.
It's your boy, Ty.
Today, featured guest is Muhammad Nelson, founder and CEO of Young Black Warriors. What's up, man? Appreciate you coming on.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Young King right there. Right, Prince right now.
Yeah, he definitely
Prince right now, heading to that kingship pretty soon. How
So,
that's feeling?
It's feeling good.
Yeah.
I met a lot of amazing people, and it's been a really good experience.
He's proper now.
No, but the thing is, I'm listening to you talk.
He got his
right
business
now.
voice on.
It's so mature to be 12, and the thing is, that's such a blessing. You know what I mean? To nowadays, our children. And I'm not saying that you're not a child, but today our children are not even close to even getting outside like this young man. Kids nowadays want to be behind cell phones and tablets and play games all day. You know what I mean? And this young man is out here on podcasts.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like my share of fun.
Most definitely. But the fact that you on here and you're doing other things, you're getting outside and people seeing your face. So I can definitely say I appreciate you for sure. Definitely.
So what's up? Talk to us about this book.
Your curriculum. Tell us about your curriculum. Matter of fact, if you don't mind, Chris.
No, you got it.
Earlier you said that you met some interesting people, some great people. Who was the most influential person that you met on your young Black warrior journey?
That's hard. It's so many.
Well, we got the time.
Somebody caught your attention.
I got 2. No, I got 3.
What's up?
Brother Derek Muhammad, Brother Al Rucker,
Okay.
and Paul Wall.
Okay. Paul. So you got Paul Wall, brother Al Roker, and who's the first one?
Derek Muhammad.
Derek Muhammad. And for those who don't know those individuals, can you kind of give us a little piece on who those guys are and how
Paul Wall is
they
a rapper.
influenced you?
He's a rapper, I think.
Right.
And what else does he do?
Grills.
He does a
Yeah.
great. Yeah. Shout out to Paul Wall.
Yeah.
And then Derek Muhammad, he's kind of like an activist.
Mm-hmm.
And Brother Al Rucker, I don't know exactly what he does.
Brother, he's a true entrepreneur. He's definitely doing his thing in the city of Houston.
I met him at the 26th or 17th Black Male Summit, and he just inspired me to start.
That's good. What you saying, Chris?
But tell me one thing. Since you started Young Black Warriors, who came up with this Young Black Warriors?
Me.
How long ago?
Like the title?
Yeah.
Technically, it was a combination of me and my mom. Because mine was, she asked me, what am I? And we came up with different scenarios. And I said, I got it. And I just came up with the name Young Black Warrior. She thought it would be best for us to make it like kind of different,
right,
and stand out. So that's why I spelled that way, and that's why it's like that way. So we just came up with ideas of how it would be unique and different. It just popped up.
So it's just you and your moms in this, starting this what y'all started. It's just you and your mom. So you have like a group.
There's actually boys in the program.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And sometimes they come with us, and sometimes they're kind of busy, so we just have to go along sometimes. So it's always good.
You got it.
So with the boys in the program, is that where the curriculum comes in?
Mm-hmm.
So
can we backtrack to how you got here?
Hmm?
Can we backtrack to how you got here?
Oh yeah,
I
I was going there. I was getting there. I was just trying to hit each point. So with your curriculum and your age, do you think that it makes it more difficult for people to take you more serious?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Some people barely want to talk to me just because
Right.
they think I'm joking.
Because you're young.
And they think I'm just trying to do it to get money, but that's not the point.
Right. So how did you get to this point? When and how did you wake up one morning and say, you know what, there's a need for change and I want to be part of that change?
So like every day I would go to school, I wouldn't even do anything, and my teacher would tell me they'd rather quit than teach me something. So I felt as though why would I want somebody else to go through that same trouble?
Right.
And they could find another avenue to just ignore it. Because you have to go to school or parents will have to pay a fine or something like that.
Right.
And there's a way to cope with the situation in
Right.
their life. So that's why I came up with it, to be honest.
Right. I like that. Because I, like I said, I can feel you're a little different. You're a little more advanced in your time. And watching you looking at your Instagram, seeing a couple guys, you took pictures with, and then just listening to the conversation before we started, that's why I wanted to know, you being young, how it has it gotten more difficult? You know what I mean? So let me repeat this question. So earlier I asked you, was it hard because people didn't take you serious? Now that you've been doing it for a little while, are people taking you more serious, or is it still getting?
Well, it's kind of the same, but when I tell them about my website and how I made it, they kind of open up more and think that this kid isn't playing.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually serious. And things like that nature.
Right, I understand.
It's starting to get better.
Oh, I thought you said. Oh, yeah. But I see y'all say y'all providing communities and people can join up and sign up. So you're not the only kid that's just, for as age wise, what's the age?
It goes from 9 and up.
Oh, so it's adults.
You could be 98 and you're still valid in the Young Black Warrior program.
That's cool. That's cool. And where are you serving? Like, who do you serve? What areas?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Just reach out to me and you'll get the help that you want.
And how do
That
you
you
reach out to you?
Via social media or my website or email. My email is Muhammad at Young Black Warrior. Muhammad at YoungBlackWarrior.com. My website is YoungBlackWarrior.com. And my Instagram is YoungBlackWarrior.
Good quote. Look, I see you got, I don't need a gang. I need a knowledge of my ancestors.
That took me a long time to come up with.
That's a good, I understand what you
Real good.
That's good.
There's so many quotes, but there's so many quotes that people already have. I came up with a whole bunch of stuff that people already had, so I had to just find something that stood out. So
No, that's
That's real
good.
You
it
know
took me
what I
a
mean?
while.
And you want your own quote. I think, shit, you made me think of that. I want my own quote. Because everybody always quotes something that somebody else said. Well, there's nothing wrong with that, but if you came up with it, that was from you.
That's cool, because that also shows that your brain is working. You know, I mean, think about it. Think about how many times, how many ideas that you were just sitting around thinking about, and you're like, man, somebody else thought of that.
Yeah.
So I just let you know that, because I guarantee this quote right here, somebody else probably thought of it too, but you took the time to be proactive and go put it out there and make it yours. So again, that's real good, man. That's real good. But just reading over a few things. So what's going on today in America? I'm not going to bring up, I'm not going to get too political. I don't want to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the things that are going on in America, whether it be the injustices between white and black, Latino, Asian, etc., and I won't leave nobody out. How does your leadership, you know what I mean, Muhammad, as the young black warrior or the CEO of it and the founder, how does your leadership help in those situations? How do you help those children that's going through what they're going through as far as
In certain situations, the only way you can help is by showing that you care.
right?
So just like a few days ago, we were at the protest for the migrants in America.
Mm-hmm.
That's showing support, showing that you care. Because legally, you can't do anything.
Right.
But if you just show up, pop up, and show people that you are about what you're about and that you care, it'll surely make a
I
difference.
see that. I definitely believe that, because I know just reading and watching your looking on your Instagram page, I see that that's one of your big deals is helping, showing your face. You know what I mean? I definitely say I appreciate that, because I know earlier you had mentioned about people saying that you aren't doing this for the money. Somebody, you said earlier that it made it difficult because people say that they don't believe in you or take you serious, but they think you're just doing it to make some money. And the thing is, to people like that, you're going to run across people your whole life. You get your money however you need to get your money, because
See, but that's
the
the thing.
lights need to stay
It's
on.
not even really about the money.
But
It's about
so
helping
tell-
the community.
Right.
That's all it is to me.
Okay.
When I'm doing events and stuff like that, I just X out the money.
Right.
I think about everybody else who needs help.
Understood. So when people bring up the money situation, how do you handle that?
Actually, when it comes to money, I let my mom handle that
Dig
stuff.
that. Dig that. Dig that.
That's a good answer.
You know, the reason why I say that, you know, and I'm going to tell you why I said that, is because a lot of people, I got this saying, you know, people always want to tell you to be humble. They always want to tell you to be humble.
Yeah.
You're just trying to do it for the money. You're just trying to do it for the money. But I guarantee you gave that same person saying that, you gave them $1 million, they'll leave you alone. Because a lot of people only say stuff just because they can't do it. You know what I mean? They wish they could be in your shoes and doing big what you're doing. So, you know, so that's good, because because you got to fund your activities.
Yeah.
You got to
Right.
fund them.
That's true.
So, you know, at the end of the day, I understand when you say it's not about the money. And
But technically, it is kind of about the money, because if you don't have the money, you can't do certain things. But when I go to different things, I don't really think about the money. I let my mom think about the money.
Understood, because I can feel that. You know, people, because if you're dealing with the right people, trust me, if you're dealing with the right people,
The money gonna come.
the money gonna come, and people know it's coming. They're not focused on that, because they can see you doing big things. You know what I mean? Because you don't need to tell nobody you're paying your cell phone bill, because you know the cell phone bill got to get paid. There's no, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I definitely appreciate that, man. So if you can tell me a little bit more about some of you guys' values, I say unity and local economics, equitable justice, and entrepreneurship. Out of those four, which one stands out to you the most?
Whew. What do I do? Entrepreneurship.
Right.
That's the favorite. That's the best thing up there.
Why is that?
Because when it's okay to go work for somebody, but it's even better to get the feeling of you making your own and being successful by yourself, not having to worry about you getting fired from somebody else, something like that. It just feels really good.
Man, I hope you guys are taking notes right now.
No, that's great.
That's deep right there, man. That's real
great.
deep. Real deep for you to be at 12, to have that mentality. I mean, I can tell you right now, it took me into my late 20s to understand that concept. You know what I mean? And you got it at 12. So that's big up right there. Definitely, that's a big up. You know what I mean? And speaking of big, where are you from? Like, where are you from? Like not where you were born. No, not where you were born. Just where's that place that when you go there, this is home. This is where my mom's people. This is my uncle's people. This is where I feel at home. I get all the love.
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Cincinnati, Ohio.
I love Ohio.
Definitely. Shout out to those in Cincinnati.
Shout out to the Ohio women. Jesus.
Yeah, shout out.
Treat me so
to
good.
everybody. Yeah. But yeah, Cincinnati is definitely a beautiful place, man. Yeah, that's awesome. Then, what else do you guys do? I'm reading that.
As far as what?
As far as how do you get people acclimated and into your curriculum-based program? And I want you to go into
As of
details
now, we're
about-
actually looking for boys to join the program. We have, I think, about 15, and we need more actually to physically start the program. But the reason why I'm selling stuff is to raise money so we can find a building to house the program.
Right.
So as of now, we haven't really started on doing actual. We do activities. Like 2 weeks ago, we went and fed 182 meals to the people.
Right.
Like we went in Third Ward, we went other places. I forget what they were called. Too. But we do different activities. We do fun things too.
Right.
Sometimes we'll just spend the weekend, stay at my house or something, and we'll learn different things that we didn't know about the program and how it could further us and stuff like that. I haven't actually went through the program. I felt as though it was best for me to go through the program with them, so they wouldn't say like he knows more than us,
Gotcha.
and if we didn't get a fair shot. So I want to go through it with them.
Understood.
It would be more fun.
So what would you got a question?
Nah, as far as the building, what size building you looking for?
That's right.
Like, what size building that you looking for?
Like an office
Like
space?
an office space.
Yeah.
Oh, just office space.
And it's like a building like this, for like a room this, like for us to meet.
When my brother and them did the program in California, we had we used the recreation centers, and we also used we used it as an after school program in the school.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So you know I gotta ask. So I know this is all good. You got the curriculum thing going. You got the Young Black Warriors going. So I'm gonna ask because I know most parents will want to know this. How do grades looking at school? How do grades looking at school? Yeah, that's the most important. Cause yeah, you out here grinding and doing this, that, and the third. But how do grades looking?
They're decent.
They're decent.
He said
Small
they
word. I like
I mean,
that.
I can't lie.
Yeah, I'm not.
I have, well,
Yeah.
sometimes in school,
Yeah.
I have too much things to do outside of school.
Right.
So school really isn't, for the past couple months, it wasn't, before summer started, it wasn't important to me.
Mm.
But it was. Because if I'm going to get in trouble if I don't have all of my grades up.
Right. So how do you find that balance between your curriculum and taking the time as an entrepreneur?
I don't. It naturally comes.
Oh, it naturally comes. Pardon me. So what we going to do to make sure the grades get better to decent, then at the same token,
Actually, with the experience that I had at school,
Mhm.
when we go to different states and different cities to do different things,
Right.
I'm gonna have a homeschool,
Okay.
so we can go on the road with the homeschool
Right.
teacher. Yeah.
So that's cool. Okay, you prefer that as opposed to going to the class?
Of course,
So okay.
there's no distractions. It's just one person, and you don't have to worry about anybody else doing anything or messing with your learning and your grades. It's easier, and there's not a lot of things to keep up with,
Right.
like different textbooks and stuff like that, because most of it will be online.
Okay. So you find that easier and better as
Mm-hmm.
you're doing, so outside of this, where do you want to take Young Black Warrior? Think about it. Right now you're just 12. You just started, and it's pretty successful. You know what I mean? And for you to be your own CEO, where do you want to take it?
To the moon.
Take it to the moon. Can you tell us what is the moon? What does that
Everywhere.
consist of?
I'm gonna go everywhere. Then I'm gonna skyrocket up.
Right. And keep going.
Keep going.
All right. Okay.
Okay, so I know you said you want to take it to the moon, but you got plans on getting a degree, the diploma. What's up? I know. Hey, trust me. I know you get when
I don't- it's
everything's
not-
going good. You kind of
I'm
forget
gonna
about.
say something, but don't take it the wrong way.
Okay.
It's not I don't want to go to college, but sometimes college isn't for everyone.
Right.
Oh, I know that. That's true.
You learn things more outside of school than you do in school.
That's true.
But I don't want to talk about college. Right now, I'm more so focused on high school.
What do you mean?
So you said college ain't for everybody.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna graduate from high school
Okay,
for sure.
making sure you get that. Yeah, because college ain't for everybody. And sometimes you're gonna have somebody who graduated from college working for you, especially if you take it to the moon. So we just want to make sure the grades stay on point. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, this is just my advice. This is great, but you want to make sure all your I's and T's are dotted and crossed. You want to make sure that you are well versed in everything, even the education system that exists today. Whether we agree with how it goes, but you want to make sure we're well versed in that. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's going to be my next question. Is how you deal with, if you're doing the homeschool, how you think you're going to deal with the children who are in public school and kind of all about distractions, who come in here loud. How do you handle those children?
Technically we're not handling them. We're giving them different scenarios and
Okay.
different life virtues for them to try to cope with the situations that they're going through.
Understood. I understood, and I appreciate you correcting that term. That
I see
language
that.
I use. Yeah. So I apologize for using the word handle. That's not what I meant, but definitely appreciate that.
Because at the end of the day, we can't force them to do anything.
Right.
We give them knowledge, and if they apply it, that's up to them.
Right.
But we're still helping them to try to encourage them to do the right thing. So
Understood. I definitely understood.
at the end of the day, we hope they leave with a lot of knowledge. So
And then, is there a criteria for the children and boys that are coming? Who's our target audience? We want anybody and everybody, or just
anybody and everybody.
anybody? Everybody understood. Definitely.
Well, it's mostly a boys program.
Okay.
It's not saying that girls are important,
Okay. We definitely are. Definitely.
but yeah, it's a boys program for the boys to get out and learn new things and get off of the game screen. go outside and stuff like that.
So are you able to tell us some of the things that they learned?
Mhm.
Like if you were to take us, Chris and I were one of those boys, what would be our first day like?
First, we'd explain to you the program.
Okay,
Can't just go randomly pick up somebody and not know what they're doing.
understood?
So you explain. You take the first day, you explain to them the program.
Uh-huh.
Second day, probably the next week and so on, we hands-on do activities and stuff like that and show them what it actually means to be a young black warrior.
Mm.
Okay, you doing
I definitely like that. I definitely like that. This is amazing. This is definitely amazing. The fact that all ages and their families and you teaching people who are much older than you, does it make you nervous?
Sometimes
Yeah,
it's sometimes intimidating, but I get over it.
yeah. Definitely, I'm glad you do because there's no age. We're always learning. Never too old to learn. My mother keeps telling me that. So yeah, Muhammad, that's definitely amazing, man. Definitely amazing.
So, who's your idol though? Who you look up to?
It's so many people. When I was 6, I looked up to John Cena.
Mhm.
When I was 7, I looked up to what's that guy's name? The superhero.
Superman.
No.
Deadpool.
Deadpool. That's too new.
That's too new.
Six.
What does he do? What's his power?
Spider-Man.
Batman.
Batman.
Okay.
You gotta know Batman. Okay.
I just forgot his name.
Okay. Why Batman?
I was gonna say the Winged Man, but I forgot his name for a minute. So why Batman? Cause he's just cool.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have powers.
Right.
He's just rich.
Yeah. Definitely.
He makes his own suit. That's cool.
Yeah. He teaches himself how to fight and how to. Yeah. Definitely. So did you see the movie Batman vs Superman? Did you like it?
I was kind of upset that Superman kind of lost.
Yeah, he died. Came back alive though.
Yeah.
Came back.
He was a kryptonite. That's not fair.
Yeah. That is. That
What
made me
you been
upset
listening
too.
to since you was like 4?
Hmm?
Who you been listening to since you was like 4?
Oh, Dick Gregory. That's my guy.
Well,
Like that
Dick Gregory should have came at the very beginning of all that.
Yeah.
Man, rest in peace to Dick Gregory, man. That's an amazing individual. Can you tell me what you know about Dick Gregory?
He's funny.
Mm-hmm.
He's smart.
Yeah,
And he's very wise.
very wise, especially in this avenue here.
Did I say funny?
You said funny.
He said, "Did I say funny?"
I just
Yeah,
want to say it again. He's funny.
yeah,
It's hilarious.
definitely. Okay,
And he's not afraid to tell you the truth.
right. Okay, who else? You got any more? Any athletes? Any doctors?
Who else you listen to? Who you listen to every morning?
Oh, I do this class thing
Mhm.
in the morning. It's like a FaceTime by Eric Thomas.
Mhm.
You know what that is?
I do not. Please explain.
E.T. He's a motivational preacher. That's what people call him, motivational preacher.
E.T. the hip hop preacher.
TGIM.
I think I know.
Sound
I know.
familiar.
Every
He's very
time,
popular.
sometimes
he
when he
has
opens,
a very powerful voice, doesn't he?
when he opens the video, it says, "Thank God it's Monday."
Okay, I think I know exactly what you're talking about now. I know exactly. He's a very powerful motivational speaker. So he pump you up.
And every morning at 5 o'clock in the morning, I wake up.
Mm.
Even on summer, sometimes. Because I don't go to sleep until like 12.
Right.
Because that's the only time I get free time. We don't get home until about 10.
Mm.
Because we're always doing different things, different activities.
Mm.
And I have 2 hours of free time a day. And I spend them at nighttime.
Right.
And I have to wake up 5 hours later. And I don't go fall back asleep because I'm already woke. Because when I wake up, before I wake up at about 4:30, I go wash my face, brush my teeth, and make me a bowl of cereal.
Understood.
And then I get tired. I kind of fall asleep. Sometimes when they call my name, I have on earbuds. So I just wake right up.
So it's not difficult for you to only operate on a couple hours of sleep to be so young.
No,
He said, "No."
most of the night I just most teenagers, they will go to sleep for 30 minutes, wake up, text on their phone, then fall back asleep for another hour. And then within the night, they just keep switching. I don't know how it's like their mind has a timer on it.
So since you're working so hard, and I'm pretty sure, Mom, you can jump in. What we got planned for vacation? You gotta have a vacation. Where you want to go for
This
vacation?
is my vacation. This is fun to me.
What you do for spring break? What you do?
Oh, sorry. I went on the Freedom Tour. But like around Alabama and Atlanta and all the places,
Yeah.
Montgomery. And then for my reward for learning so much different things, she quizzed me and she took me shopping at one mall. What was the mall at?
Was it
4 different malls. I don't remember.
We went to one mall in Montgomery, one mall in Atlanta. The Underground Mall is huge.
Yeah, yeah.
But sadly it was closed.
Right.
We went to Walters shoe store.
Definitely, you gotta stop at Walters when you're in Atlanta.
That's some really good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Classic Walters.
we went to Nike. We went
What
to
did
Nike.
you learn though? Where did you go?
Oh, we learned. I went to the what's his name? The college in Montgomery.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm talking about?
I do not.
George Washington Carver.
Okay.
Oh yeah, George
Museum?
Washington Carver. We went inside his house.
No, that was Booker T. Washington.
Booker T. Washington. We went inside his house.
Yeah.
I sat in his chair.
Inside Booker T's or Joe Washington? Carver's.
Booker T.
It was
Booker
Booker
T.
T.
Washington.
Washington
Okay.
house.
We went around the lawn and we saw different things. It was really cool.
Did
A lot of the stuff there wasn't. It was like they had to replace it because it was broken.
Right.
So it wasn't actually all authentic. But some of it was.
Yeah, that's what's up.
It was really cool. I took videos and
What
stuff.
you learn about Booker T?
It was a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was a while ago.
I think.
Oh, no, take your time. I try to quiz you right now because.
Can we come back to it?
Well, please do, because the Booker T, Dick Gregory, these names like this, especially that Booker T is a very.
He said
very
enough to
huge
say you're
name.
12 years old.
Yeah, that's a huge name, man. You definitely the number one.
I ask kids now, 12 years old, they coming up with Uzi Vert and
Right.
Future and smoking
Yeah.
Percocets. You
All-
wouldn't
all
believe
the
the stuff
wrong
out here.
stuff.
All the
Definitely.
What
wrong
do you see on the wall every day when you walk out your door at home?
Oh, Marcus Garvey.
That's about to ask you.
Okay.
She makes me during the summer.
Mhm.
There's not really too much video games and stuff like that.
Mhm.
There's not. Well, we think that unsupervised time and like time that free time stuff like that isn't necessary. And if you forget what you learn, you're not gonna learn anything.
Right.
So basically, we do a lot of learning things. It's fun though.
Mhm.
I like learning new things about different histories. We do like once a week we'll pick one topic and I have to read a whole book.
Right.
I just got finished with my first book for the summer. The Mentor, the Kid, and the CEO. If you're a child, you really need to read this book. It's really good. It's about a boy named Tony. He was in prison because his friend forgot to put gas in his car and they stole a beer. And then he was incarcerated and he met a guy named Malcolm. And what Malcolm was talking to him about was like how to better your life. And then Tony actually ended up helping Malcolm become better because Malcolm's company went through a bad spot. And then Malcolm taught Tony how to start your own business and live off your own, even though you're a convicted felon.
Uh-huh.
So basically, it's really kid friendly though. It's really good. I liked it.
They need to know how to live
So
convicted felons.
that being that book, the book you read.
But Tony was a teenager.
Okay, Tony was a teenager.
He was about, I think he was 17.
I think he was 19. He turned that time he got to jail and all that. He was 19. But he got in trouble, I think the first time when he was like 16 or something. So he was on probation.
So so
It was-
the whole gas station thing kind of violated the probation.
Right.
Yeah, and that happens a lot, man.
And it was thefts.
Yeah, a lot of our youth, man, and to me, I consider youth 12, 16, 19. To me, you youth to me until you're 21, and a lot of people are getting in these situations so small and end up in prison for long periods of time, man. So I definitely can say, well, let me ask you, do you think, I know this may be a crazy question, do you think your program, your curriculum, you think you can save a couple lives? Think about that. Do you
Couple?
I'm just saying, do you can say a couple, you ain't gotta say a couple, maybe two, but do you think you can save some lives with your program?
Hundreds maybe.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely appreciate that, man, because we need it. We need it, and I think this is why we need it right here, because the younger generation, older generation, we're separate. Either one, somebody don't want to listen because we've been there, done that. Two, y'all old and we the new thing, you know what I mean? So how do you compromise or battle that situation when the older generation don't want to listen and the younger generation are too young to listen? Where do you come in and how do you bridge that gap?
Again?
I bring it back again. So you got So you got your older generation who some of us are so set on our plate we don't want to hear nothing anyone younger than us have to say. Then you got the younger generation who are in their place to where they don't want to hear nothing the older generation have to say. So how would you?
The younger generation, could never even say that they've seen or known more than an older person.
Right.
That's just doesn't make sense.
So how would you bridge that gap?
By teaching the younger generation. Well, if you were older generation, it would be best for you to help teach a younger generation.
Agreed.
Instead of just saying, I quit, I know more than you, and that's
Right.
all that matters.
Agreed.
So nobody's happy, nobody's learning anything.
Right.
It's just, I'm going to sit here while you be dumb and go to jail and stuff like that. It's just not right. So,
No, definitely, I agree with that.
That's true. This Talk to Me podcast, this episode 79. If y'all just tuning in, we got my man Muhammad Nelson on, young black warrior. Of course, we're going to dig into his personal life, man. He told us what he do. He's only 12 years old. Of course, let's get into your father. What your father?
my father's actually in prison.
Okay.
Luckily, I have a stepdad who really cares about me
Mhm.
and wants to see me succeed, so that's pretty cool.
So how you feel about your father being in prison? You still talk to him?
It's not hurting me, it's hurting himself. I'm still doing what I have to
He's been in
do.
prison his life almost his whole life.
Yeah,
Oh, for real?
So I'm still doing what I have to do to be
That's good.
successful.
that's good.
Maybe one day I can help him.
Right. That's real good. That's real
Yeah,
good.
that's definitely real good.
And having a stepdad or a bonus dad, at times, do you find it difficult?
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
All the time we have different opinions. At first, our relationship was kind of bumpy, and then it became good,
Right.
and then it became kind of bumpy. I mean, everybody gets sick of each other at one point.
Well, right. But you know, in some situations when the new man comes into play, now you're young, but usually when the new man comes into play, especially if he's important enough for the mom to bring him into the situation, to introduce
If
him
my mom's happy, I don't care.
straight like that. So mom's happy,
He
you
was
good.
young though. He was
Yeah.
like
That's-
5.
That was 5 when
Yeah, so it was kind of different.
Right.
He
Yeah,
wasn't
it's
older.
different.
He was like
It
5
wasn't-
years old.
But as he grows older into it, you know what I mean. I definitely.
I still, honestly,
Mm.
I care for him, but if my mom's happy, I'm cool with it. So.
Understood. Definitely, I can definitely appreciate that. Mom's always got to be a happy man.
That's
Mom.
definitely true.
So I'm gonna ask a personal question. I know mom is in the building, but we gonna get to it. So now, you being such a mentally advanced 12-year-old, you know what I mean. You're mature, very mature for your age. So I'm assuming you're around a lot of adults and older people, right?
Now we,
Well, that's just it. So you've never been around adults?
of course.
Okay, then. So we getting there. We getting there. Has anyone approached you in a disrespectful or wrong way where you had to handle it? Of course not, but mom had to jump in and get down to it, or even bonus dad had to come in and handle it. Yeah.
Many times.
What's the situation that's happened that you don't mind talking about? Or if it's okay to talk about?
There was this one time, there was this boy, he was trying to join my program.
Mm-hmm.
His mom said that he couldn't. Well, she said he could, but she thought that we didn't know what we were talking about.
Right.
She came and she kept telling me that, do you know how much this is going to cost? Do you know how much this is going to cost? It's going to be too expensive for you to do. I'm pretty sure you can't afford it and stuff like that. So I just let her keep talking, and I basically ignored her. She was just yelling at me for no reason. Then I went to my mom. My mom talked to her, and she was telling her that she didn't know what she was talking about, and she couldn't do it. And then she told my uncle he couldn't do it.
Right.
It was just a big
So
mess.
she was just
Yeah, she
some
was-
people were just being.
She was just talking to hear herself talk.
Yeah, that happens. That happens a lot. A lot of people are unhappy, no matter what the situation is. Some people just want to cause
I think you should use a school situation though. because you have interactions with teachers.
Oh,
All the
definitely.
time.
I know you do. Especially if I'm listening to what I'm listening to you speak right now. I know you do.
And earlier I told you guys that one of my teachers said she's better equipped and teach me.
Right.
She had came to the Shining Black Madonna to buy it, and her husband was there with her.
Uh-huh.
And he came and he was about to buy a shirt for me. She came, she saw my table, and she saw who I was, and he was about to buy a shirt for me. She told him that she couldn't buy nothing for me, or she would break up with him.
Did he buy
That's
it?
not exactly what happened.
It works. It works. We like it. We like that story.
It was similar. It wasn't exactly
So you
what
about to break
happened.
up with you? That's crazy.
Yeah, but it sounded. So he didn't buy nothing from you.
Nah, he ended up leaving.
Listen, I'm telling you right now, if
That's
I want to buy something from you and me buying something from you, Muhammad caused me to break up, I'm just gonna be single. So I'm buying, especially to support that black youth, man. Definitely.
So you got no girlfriend in that?
Who?
Yeah.
Who the hell? You?
In my religion, you can't have a girlfriend, you have to have a wife.
Okay.
What religion is that?
We're Muslim, so
You're Muslim.
yes.
Okay. So as a Muslim,
But I don't have a girlfriend, I have a lady friend, it's two different things.
Okay, now I'm getting somewhere. So in the Islam, Nation of Islam.
No, we're Muslim.
Okay, tell me the difference between Islam and Muslim.
I don't know. I can't tell you that.
Understood?
Well, Nation of Islam believe
No,
that
you don't know what Nation of Islam
So-
believes. Just talk about what you believe.
There we go.
I believe that God is the one and only God.
Okay.
I can't say what God is what God, but I just believe in God.
Okay.
So that if I didn't just confuse,
Hey, trust me, you did not.
okay.
Yeah. So you don't have. So you're lady friends.
I'd rather let's not talk about that in front of my mom. So
Okay. 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 I definitely respect.
So you're a mama's boy.
no,
You're a mama's boy.
Nothing's wrong with that.
Nothing's wrong
Trust
with being
me.
a mama's boy.
Any woman, when you get older,
I'm mother's boy.
no, there's nothing wrong with that. You wouldn't know that. It would be someone to tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but trust me, any woman that really wants to do serious shit when you get older, trust me, they want a mama's boy. They want somebody that strives treating their mama like a queen. Because trust me, if you treat your mama like a queen, any woman you come across, you're gonna treat her like you're gonna have your issues. Most of us boys and men do. But there's nothing wrong being a mama's boy, man. There's nothing wrong. Especially these lady friends you got. We won't talk about them though. You want to send a shout out to anybody that we're not going to talk about right now? You sure? Okay.
So you got any best
I'm
friends?
good,
You got
I'm
any
good at
buddies? Ace Boon Coon pals?
Yeah.
What you wrong with?
Yeah,
Are they in the group with you?
some of them are not.
Okay.
Some of them I haven't told them about it yet,
Right.
but I have a lot of friends that are in the program.
Cool.
But they got to be. If they're your friend, they're supposed to ride with you. I don't see why they wouldn't.
I
do
haven't
it.
said anything to them about it yet
Why?
because we didn't really start getting serious about it until after the school year ended.
Okay.
That's
So-
understand that.
Well, it wasn't really a set plan until after the school year ended, so I didn't really get a shot to tell them about it. So,
But I'm sure they follow you on Instagram.
of course.
Oh, that's cool. That's definitely cool, man.
Hold on, my friend will love this. Shout out to Omar.
What's happening to Omar, man?
Shout
Shout
out
out
to
to Omar. And what shout out you want to give out to? Might as well don't want about it.
Shout out to my grandma,
There we go.
my grandfather. Taught me all my business techniques. Shout out to my stepdad, Moss. He's at work right now.
Okay.
She's right here. Why would I shout out to her?
Still got to shout mom out. Mama ain't on the camera. You got to shout mom out.
Always.
Shout out to my sister, Camila. That's it.
Okay.
All right, y'all. This Talk to Me podcast, man. You're not going nowhere. We're gonna stick around and talk about some more stuff. Today is June 27th, and if you don't know what that is, that's what's the home of the Strew?
Man, shout out to June 27th, man. Best freestyle ever in music history. Big Mo with it, Pokey. I mean, there's so many different names on there,
Yeah,
man.
it's a
So
bunch of names.
shout out, man. It's June 27th. So right now, if you got some time, man, YouTube, Google freestyle June 27th and listen to it about a couple minutes. So if you got the original, it's a long 2-hour listen tape. So, but yeah, June 27th, man, it's in the building.
Well, of course, we got a young entrepreneur on, and we had a question. but she was directing to me. It was one of my friends I went to school with. She was like, it was for me, but she was like, I was a young hustler, and I started laughing because when I was small, I was like 14. I was selling bus tickets to get on the bus. Like, you need school bus tickets to ride the bus. So I used to sell bus tickets.
How'd you get those bus tickets?
I got them. I got them. So I always figured out how to get some. It wasn't illegal, but I figured out how to do it without having to sell drugs.
Right.
And a lot of people don't know you could be a hustler and not have to sell drugs. Like, some people are like, man, what do you do? He hustling. Nah, I don't
My
do that.
grandfather, the reason why I said that, he teach me all my business techniques. He could go to your house and sell you some shoes out of your closet.
That's good.
And I'm being serious.
No, that's real good.
That's a hustle.
He's caught so many of my cousins out of their money. It makes no sense.
That's good, man. Definitely. Granddaddy was a finesse.
Yeah, he was a finesser.
Yeah.
I ain't kind, but
Gotcha.
I kind of
I understand.
a mouthpiece, a
Definitely
good mouthpiece.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely like I'm definitely. My mom always had a good mouthpiece. I
Yeah.
can talk people out of some stuff.
Yeah, man.
We'll talk them now. It's like a negotiating, like, you know what I'm saying. But
That's what it comes down to, man.
they had a girl. This like some news that happened. They had an 8-year-old girl selling water. I know you heard about it, right?
Oh man, did you hear about that? 8-year-old girl who was selling water, and the lady called the police saying that she didn't have a permit to sell.
What?
She was selling cold water in front of her mom's door to get tickets to go to Disney World. So she was selling water for $2, cold water, as people was walking up the street because they stayed in the city. And
That's messed
a
up.
white lady came outside and said she's trying to work. Y'all making too much noise. And you need a permit to sell the water. So she called the police on her
Yeah.
for selling the water. So,
On an 8-year-old girl?
an 8-year-old girl.
What made it even more interesting is that the lady who called the police, either she's an owner or a business partner
Oh, but-
in a marijuana dispensary.
Yeah.
So if anybody would know about doing something against the grain, she should have known that.
But
Yeah.
they posted her on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
And the businesses didn't want to do business with
Oh,
her.
they
no
drug,
more.
they drug her.
So
yeah.
she cried on CS, I think it's NBC News.
Who, the 8-year-old girl?
No, the white lady.
Because they fired her?
They didn't fight her, they just stopped.
She just
She just
had
lost
to
a
get
few
a bid.
contracts.
She lost her business. She like her business dealing with the marijuana dispensary is no longer existing. So
That's tough.
that's good. You know, I mean, nowadays people need to start realizing, man, when you got people like Muhammad here, or the 8-year-old, or yourself when you were young, trying to do what you need to do, because they either can be selling water, selling knowledge. You know what I mean? In the sun. If you don't let them, they can be selling drugs and robbing you in the shade. You feel what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's
So, and I think nowadays, man, I'm glad the internet is out there, for one, to put this type of information out there, and two, let people see how some people act when they think no
Oh,
one's
yeah.
watching, man.
Oh, yeah.
Big time, big
That's
time.
real. I don't think nobody want to own up to the.
Would you guys
racism.
mind if I brought up a topic?
Yeah, what's the
What
topic?
you talking
The migrant kids in America.
Okay.
So, what do you guys think about
What's
that?
going on with the familiar coming?
Like how they're keeping them in cages and stuff like
You
that.
talk about the kids who had the
Oh,
at the
man.
border. I saw
It's like
that.
they're trying to build a school downtown, a detention center for the kids 18 months and up.
See, I don't know too
18
much about
months.
it, man. It's
It's the old Hope Center.
Hope
What was it? Star and Hope.
That's for the women, huh?
the homeless shelter.
They got a new building
Yeah,
now.
new
So
building.
the old
And-
building,
and they're trying to
trying
make it into a
a
detention
detention center to house the kids.
The
For
Star
18
Hope is for the women, right?
Star Hope, it's
I
from
don't
it's
know.
for the families.
so
They're taking it. They're
I
taking
thought it
it
was
from
for women
18
only,
months.
Yeah, the building.
They're taking the kids from 18 months and up.
So he's saying. So I guess I'm not too familiar with what's going on.
The Star Hope of Hokum, the one I know right off 288.
I think that it's the one downtown.
So it's
You
the
got
old
another one.
building. It's on what street was that?
Emancipation Boulevard.
Emancipation.
Yeah, that's the old one right there when you walk. If you're walking from the like where the soccer stadium is, kind of.
Oh yeah, it's right across the street.
It's right there.
You have the number one. It's old
Emancipation.
donation place.
That's
You
they
know,
changed the name to
Oh, man, it's
it's actually Dollar. It's
It's
Emancipation.
on
Dollar.
Emancipation Boulevard, and it's smack dab in the middle of.
Isn't it right on the
Which is
street
the
of
Hispanic
Emancipation
neighborhood.
Fair?
So it's like
It's right
it's
there on
disrespectful
Emancipation
relays.
Fair.
Right. So they're taking the
So
migrants.
the government did a proposal, is what the
They're sending-
news reporter told us, to take that building to make it a detention center to house the kids.
They're
or
taking
something like that.
the adults and sending them back to their country. And they're taking the kids to keep them here and make them work, basically.
Something like that.
So
Is
it's
what
basically
is
like
what
slavery.
The news reporter was
Yeah,
telling
I
us.
gotta go do some more research before I can actually give a real type of educated comment. But to separate a family,
I don't understand how you can look at a kid's eyes and just remove them from their
We
family.
got
Trust me.
footage on Instagram from when we were there.
Yeah.
I saw y'all on Instagram. I saw y'all on Instagram. Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
y'all.
I'm not too
He
familiar
had
with
talked
it,
to the news reporter.
yeah,
And the news reporter was telling him some things that he saw when he went to the border the night before.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I saw that. That looked bad.
I'm pretty sure that's happened before on these grounds.
It's not new.
Oh, it's not new. We just
It's
listen
just
to it.
people are starting to know what it is now, but it's not new.
Oh, trust me, it's not new. There's a group of people who endured that years ago, getting separated from their
Some
family.
people say it was there when Barack Obama was president.
Oh, I'm thinking, I'm going a little further back. I'm talking way back. I'm talking 1800s back.
What did you say? What did you say when we were going there?
Anyway.
What was your quote that you said? They're doing what to them like they did to what?
Oh, they're trying to make them they're trying to take them away from their families like they did to the kids from our ancestors.
So yeah, it's nothing new in it. And like I said, I don't know too much about it to make a educated comment, but it sounds wrong. It definitely sounds wrong to separate the family, but
It is wrong.
yeah,
It's just not right. It's cruel.
big time, man, big time. So keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. If you can't change 100 people, man, if you can just change one person, that's amazing. 'Cause that one person can change somebody else, man. Because I got a saying, man, if you can't change the people around you, man, change the people around you. So think about that.
You tell them about. I'm sorry. You tell them about your book dropping.
I wanted to say the best for last.
Give it to us.
All right, so my book will be dropping. I'm gonna get the first real copy in about 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, and it's gonna be for sale in about a month. Is that correct?
Something like that.
Something like that.
What's
the name
book?
of it?
13 Virtues of a Young Black Warrior.
13 Virtues of the Young Black Warrior. Can you give us a little introductory, a little kind of synopsis about your book? A little breakdown on
It's gonna be amazing.
No.
That's all I can give.
That's all you can give?
Until you see the book, that's all I can give. I'm sorry.
To it.
That-
It's gonna be a,
Okay, well, tell us about the documentary.
Documentary?
you got a documentary too?
Well, it's in the making right now.
Oh, you just dropping all these jewels. Tell me about the documentary.
It hasn't been started. It's been started. It hasn't. It's not finished
Well,
yet.
this part of it actually right down.
That's it?
He's filming right now.
Yeah, that's part of
man.
it. He working. That's what I'm trying to tell you. He
You're
working.
right. Let me get
He
right.
working. That's what I'm saying.
You constantly working.
But how long is the documentary supposed to be like?
Always. As soon as I wake up, there's a camera in my face.
Always.
Always working.
How's that make you feel?
Sometimes it gets annoying.
Yeah. I know. I'm about to say, because if you would have said something totally different, I would have definitely said, nah, I would have
I
called
think
you out.
it's all gonna pay off though. I think it's
Yeah.
gonna pay off. You're intelligent young
But
man.
sometimes it's fun though.
Right.
I like all the attention, so.
Okay. So so let me ask this question. You got cameras in your face nonstop. You're constantly working. And on your,
But
what,
if I work now, or if I hold it off until later, all the work's gonna get pushed on me. But if I work now, when I get older, I won't have to worry about it anymore.
so look, that's what I'm saying. I want to take you to the question is, what do you need to go into your little room, cubbyhole, or wherever, just so you can focus by yourself with no
What do
distraction?
you mean?
What do you need? What's your thing? Is it green tea? Is it Dr. Pepper? Is it music? How do you get into your groove to write your book, to
I
put your
actually,
curriculum together?
all I have to do is sit on my bed and I put essential oils on my face.
Mhm.
And then I just sit there and I just get it all done.
So what type of, you said essential oils?
I use like eucalyptus, peppermint, citrus, lavender, vanilla.
Just ginger, not vanilla.
The other one we use was vanilla. And ginger. I use a lemon. One of them is green tea. I don't know. There's about 10 or 20 of them. I don't know.
That's cool.
That's what's up.
That's real cool.
And I use, what is this called? The Himalayan rocks.
Mm-hmm.
I use the light on it and it deflects, I think, energy and stuff like
Right.
that. Yes.
Okay, so you do all that.
Yeah, and sometimes my mom burns sage around the house.
Okay, I heard about sage.
It's supposed to remove all the negative energy.
Okay, did that because I know, especially in being in the limelight, you're gonna attract some negative energy.
Not saying that our house is perfectly fine, because everybody has problems in their house.
That's not negative energy. That's life.
That's
That's just life.
that's
Yeah, that's life.
something that you can't
You know,
prevent.
actually, what type of music you listen to? Like, who's your favorite rapper? Who's your favorite singer? What you know?
A lot of people.
So since you
I like-
Muslim, do you rock with Gates?
That has nothing to do with it.
Oh, I wanted to.
I see you rock with Gates.
Yeah, I rock with Gates.
I like Kevin Gates.
Yeah.
I like T Grizzly.
T Grizzly.
Okay.
Okay.
I like Trippie Redd. You know what that is?
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
Trippie.
I like Lil Uzi Vert.
Uh,
I kind of like XX, but after his music started to just talk about death, so I didn't really like it anymore.
was shout out to XXX
Yeah,
for
rest
he
in peace.
passed away.
His funeral,
you know.
funeral was actually today.
Yeah, had funeral.
Yeah, it's today.
Yeah,
20-year-old guy. That's young.
that's.
What you think about the 15-year-old kid got stabbed up in the Bronx? You heard about that?
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
Well, you wouldn't want to see it, the video on it, but he just got mistaken by.
It was a video.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was a bodega.
A video
Yeah.
while he got stabbed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a video?
No, we wouldn't put that out there. Man. You don't want to see that.
it.
So,
It's all over social
But what
media.
happened
but-
was there was this. Allegedly, there's a particular gang out there in New York, and something happened to a young female, and it was supposedly done by one individual, and they mistakenly thought it was another individual who happened to be 15,
Yeah.
and they all kind of stabbed him, and the corner store, the bodega, didn't do anything about it, let it happen, and the boy ended up dying, and one of the guys was like, "Oh man, that's the wrong guy." So
Then he reached out to the family to apologize.
yeah.
They reached out to the family,
the
apologized?
gang leader reached out to the family, kind of apologized, and so
He apologized.
He walked to, he made it to the hospital though. He just died when he got there.
so
Yeah.
it's just so much killing going on with our young folks, man, out there, man. Definitely. So, how do you? What advice do you give young people, older people, to stay out of trouble, man? To
I mean,
stay on the right track.
keep your mind positive. Keep your energy going, and
Right.
stay away from those video games, because it just runs down your time. Say if you play a video game, that's 3 hours.
Right.
If you tell your mom, be like, "Hey, can I play the game for 30 minutes?" That 30 minutes is gonna turn into an hour.
Right.
That hour is gonna turn into 2 hours. That 2 hours is gonna turn into the whole day, and you're just wasting time. Positive time that you could be doing something. That's a day wasted playing video games. What is the video game teaching you? How to shoot somebody,
Mhm.
how to dunk on somebody that you can't even really do. It's better to go outside and play basketball than you playing 2K.
Right.
Right.
So you like the idea of kids being outside instead of being inside on games and watching TV all day.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I like my video games,
Right.
but I go outside sometimes,
Yeah.
fly my helicopter and stuff like
That's
that.
cool. That's cool. What kind of helicopter you got?
I have a drone,
Yeah.
FPVR1 drone.
Okay, is it electric or gas?
Huh?
Is it electric or is it gas?
Some drones run on gas.
What? Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, what?
I know.
Mine's electric.
Yeah, they got some.
It's like the large version of the Luke Bannister edition
Right.
drone. He's like a #1 drone racer.
Okay, that's definitely nice.
You got any shout outs?
Oh man, let me get a shout out to Muhammad, the young black warrior, for showing today. Mom bringing it out.
Hold on, can I get one more shout
That
out?
was my shout out time. My shout out time. No, I'm messing with you. Go ahead, bro. What's your shout
I
out?
want to shout out to my Uncle Judah with Unapologetically Black. Also want to shout out to my Auntie Ohima. She runs a program with Seha.
Mhm.
It's really cool. What's one I wanna shout out to? Oh, I want to shout out to my Uncle Roshan with the what was it? What's the book called? Stolen Identity.
Yeah.
With his book Stolen Identity and his campaign, he was falsely accused of a crime he didn't commit.
Mhm.
Right, we'll come back to you.
I want to give a shout out to Brother Shakur, Uncle Shakur, with his jewelry that he makes. What's that food that we like with that lady?
Susie's.
Oh, I want to give a shout out to Auntie Susie. Her Susie's it's the best food I've ever had in my life. Never mind, that's not true. Second best food I've ever had in my life.
Okay, who's first?
My mom. Her macaroni and cheese and cornbread. Oh my God.
Definitely. Gotta put mom in there.
Put that back.
But yeah, man, no, just shout out to to Young Black Boy coming on stage today,
Thanks.
man, bringing mom out. Shout out to Talk to Me podcast. Shout out to our main man Chris to my right side. Definitely want to give a shout out to all those folks out there really out there grinding in the morning.
Shout
waking
out
up
to
doing
Media
it
Block.
every day.
Yeah,
Shout out to the Media Block, man. Shout out to June 27th day, man. Shout out to all those local Houston rappers that has founded the way for Texas music to hit the mainstream, man. And yeah, man, that's it. Shout out to everybody, man. Just feel good and be good.
Shout out to my Aunt Nancy. When I was younger, she helped me get through a lot of times when I couldn't sleep at night. I had a phobia of being scared of the dark.
Okay?
So she would stay on the phone with me till I went to sleep.
Your Aunt Mary?
My Aunt Mary.
Shout out to America for that.
Shout out to
We need
America.
You silly.
That's why you got night lights.
that. We need that.
My nightlight wasn't working. It kept turning off.
But let's talk to me podcast.
After.
We're gonna be in New Orleans for Essence Weekend, July 7 and 8. So please check us out. We'll be live. You gonna go come?
That should be able to. I should be down there.
That's what I want. I
I
ain't
should
want.
be down there.
I ain't want. We'll talk to you about that. But
Yeah.
it's gonna be real live out there for that.
Yeah, it's definitely
Black
out there.
excellence. I love that. I want to give a shout out to my cousin. Her name Krista. She has breast cancer, and she's fighting. So we gotta give prayers up to her. Let her get through this breast cancer. She actually just started chemo, and she's nothing but 36 years old. So just big ups to her. Hope she get well.
Yeah, big time. Get better, get well. Have cancer.
Yeah, but man, that's crazy how cancer is something else.
All right. So I have a summer challenge that I'm doing. Do at least one activity a week. Rather it be reading a book, doing anything positive, or something that will teach you learning. And at the end, shout out and send me an email or DM me on Instagram, and I'll mail you a shirt personally for me. Thank you.
So put out what's your Instagram again?
YUNGBLAKWARRIOR.
Young Black Warrior.
But you have to tell me what you've done, and you have to have proof.
Exactly.
So how did you come up with that? When you go to seminars, what do they teach you?
The average millionaire reads at least one book a week. The average person reads one book a year, if that.
Dig that.
And with that being
And-
said, what?
Each millionaire has 6 streams of income, or 5. So it's best to have more than one stream of income. If you have one job, have another one. If you have a business, you should have multiple. With my business, there's a co-op with a business called Versatile Enterprises, and there's one called Babyface, and then there's another program. It's called what's that program called?
Modesty 999, which is our girls program,
The shoes.
and it started in DC.
Okay. Modesty.
Modesty 999.
So modesty 999.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I need 3 more streams of income.
Yeah, I
man.
need some
Shit,
streams.
I get
So
3
what
more
did it-
streams.
so
I'm gonna have
what-
six streams of
Yeah.
income.
What did you learn from that though? If you read something, if you read a book every week, what does that do for you?
And actually, me,
In order to
I
do
don't really
something-
like to read, so for me, it copes me better with reading different things and helping me further my reading because I'm a math person. If you give me a math right now, I can solve it instantly. Don't give me a math problem.
I read.
I was about to give you one.
All right, go ahead.
No, I can give you one.
The ebooks. I actually don't read
I save it
the
for you.
hard copy books. I actually read the ebooks. Like, 'cause
Yeah,
I'm always in my iPad.
she also
so I
started me
the
to
book
read
from
books,
The
so-
iPad.
That's cool.
That's
Hey,
it.
definitely, man. Reading is definitely fundamentally furthers your conversation.
I'm a big article guy though.
Yeah.
I'm more of an article person.
But you still read, man.
Yeah. I'm a big article guy. I love reading different articles. Like I find myself doing that a lot. I always read different articles. Like it's a lot of like killings and things that go on that you wouldn't even know because it's not mainstream news unless it's something like racial. Or something.
And that's another reason why I don't want to go to school or actual school. I want to homeschool because they're only required to teach you a certain amount. Sometimes you can't learn anything else. They won't allow you to learn anything else.
Right.
So it's just not right.
You're talking about in regular school they teach you.
They teach you history, but they teach you parts of history that they want you to know.
They don't teach you what works for them, for the curriculum. So it's just that's why it's important. But I'm gonna say this: it's important for you to have a grip on that side of the curriculum too. Don't just push it to the side, because in this world you got to be well versed in multiple things. You know, if I sat here and told you, and this is just real talk, if I sat here and told you that you should always only focus on homeschooling, I would be wrong. You definitely do your homeschooling, but you need to get a good understanding of what's going on in those books that they try to keep secret. So when you teach other fellow warriors,
right,
you can let them know, like, hey, I understand that you're talking about this, but you should know this as well.
When I lived in Columbus,
okay,
I was about 6 or 7.
Okay,
it was Columbus Day.
All right.
Me and this old lady at my school this Caucasian lady at my school told me that Christopher Columbus discovered America. Told her that's not true.
We know that's not true.
And then it was another day. They said, "Well, we went through a big dialogue, and then they ended up taking me to the principal's office,
okay,
and the principal started laughing at the old lady and said that this kid is really smart." And then there was another situation on President's Day. It was the day before President's Day. We learned about all the presidents, and they said it was Barack Obama was elected. They said that Barack Obama was the first African American president. I said it's not true.
Right.
Abraham Lincoln was one of them, and there was another one. I forget his name. But they said, "How do you know that?" I said, why is the nickel brown? Why is the penny brown?" And I did research the next day, and I brought them everything that they needed to know after President's Day.
Okay.
I laid it on my teacher's desk and signed my name down.
Right.
So I just left it like that. I didn't even say anything about it. I just let her read it.
Of course, sometimes you got to do that, man. I've learned that what's the saying? That if you try to correct a fool, they will hate you. But if you correct a wise man, they'll appreciate you. Yeah. So I learned that because sometimes some people, no matter what you give them, no matter what truth you show them, they still don't want to hear it, man.
And I didn't deal with that a lot, so I believe.
Some people, yeah. So I'm glad you showed her. But sometimes some people, she didn't care to know, man. She just wanted wanted to think however she wanted to think. So yeah, keep strong, man. Keep pushing.
I appreciate you coming. Appreciate you coming on, man.
Appreciate that.
This Talk to Me podcast, y'all. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Shout out to Moms for coming through, because I know this takes a lot, you know. So she the real MVP. That's what you need to be.
Big time. Thanks, Mom.
I mean, her being here and taking me here shows her that she's an MVP. So
of course, her allowing you to be
come here,
allowing you to do so. You know what I mean? So definitely, shout out to Mom. I know it's not Mother's Day, but happy Mother's Day to all those moms out there, man. It's really doing anything for their kids, man. Definitely.
All right, this Talk to Me podcast, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Holla at your boy. We out.
Bro did that.